Well, did it stop recording? Oh, no, there it is. Okay. All right, listen. Shh. Page 235, chapter 13. This is our last grammar chapter in the book. And I have focused heavily on grammar chapters because according to Miss Wirtz, this is the last year that you get a concentrated amount of grammar. Beginning next year, your English class will include reading, and there'll be a bunch of things crammed into that one class. So, reading, vocabulary, all of it. Right. So, Miss Wirtz said that we really needed to focus on our grammar this year because you'll get some as you go along, but this is the last year where it's like a big focus. So, we're going to finish this last chapter. Those of you, just let me say, I know I've had some parents email, and some of you have come to me because you're right there at the borderline between grades. So we are going to start this chapter, and we're going to have EPs, apply and writes. We're going to have a vocabulary test, a chapter test. So if you hang with me, this chapter shouldn't be as hard as some of the others. It's adjectives and adverbs. So if you'll really put the effort in, I think you can help. Like if you've got like a 92 and you're wanting to push it on up to an A, I think we can do that if you'll hang with me. Ask questions if you have questions. Look back in your book when we're doing the daily work, to make sure you're getting the lesson down. And I think you'll be able to do that. They're going to be grades, yes. They're like daily grade, 20 points or something at a time, Yeah, it will if you do well on them, yes. It will. I mean, it just depends on how bad you do and how many of them. If you do bad on one of them, it probably won't hurt you as much. But if you do bad on every one of them, yeah, that could bring your grade down. All right, so let's start with this. We're going to be looking at adjectives. Does anybody know what kind of questions do adjectives answer? Raise your hand if you have some ideas on that. Cameron? They describe a noun, yes. Kelsey Woods? What kind or how many? They make it clearer what you're meaning with your sentence, okay, by describing a noun or a pronoun. So let's look at a couple of sentences here. The first thing I want to talk about is this word here. You will see this word quite a bit. What does that say? Modify. You will see that. You will, because they will ask you which noun or pronoun does this adjective modify. And when they're using it in that frame of reference, they mean describe. Which noun or pronoun is this adjective describing? Okay. So if we look at this sentence. I have 3 fireflies. Okay. What are the nouns or pronouns in this sentence? Raise your hand. Bishop?
I and firefly.
I is a noun, or as a pronoun actually, and then fireflies is a noun. Okay? So we're looking at the nouns or pronouns. Which one of those has an adjective describing it? Jonah? Fireflies does, yes. What word is describing fireflies? 3. Yeah. So 3 is an adjective. What is have, by the way? What is it, Mary Louise? The verb. You have a subject, verb, and direct object.
Would we label them?
We will be doing some of that, yes.
Wouldn't it just be the PA?
No, because it's not describing I. It's not, have is not a linking verb. I have it in my hands. I have 3 fireflies.
Oh, wait, yeah, you can't have a PA.
Right. So it's not a PA. So 3 is describing fireflies. It's an adjective. Okay. In a minute, we're going to talk about diagramming adjectives and some of the differences there. So then there's this sentence now. Getting back to what you just asked, Kelsey. Now what do we have? Tell me nouns or pronouns in that sentence. James?
Fireflies.
Fireflies is the only noun in that sentence. Is there a word describing fireflies? Mary Louise? Fascinating. And it is a PA because are is a linking verb. So a PA is an adjective describing fireflies. Now, most of the time, a large portion of the time, adjectives come before the word that they're describing, like this, except in the case of linking verbs with predicate adjectives. That's where the adjective comes after the word it's describing. Okay? Let that sink in a minute. And we are going to look at page 235.
Are you recording?
Yes, I am.
Hi, people.
Shh. I'm waiting on the board to get bigger. Why is it not going back to regular size? Shh. Huh. Okay, so page 235, let's look at the top of it. An adjective modifies or describes a noun or a pronoun. Do you see that sentence at the top of your page?